أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. We continue with this important and interesting series of the world of Jinn and devils. And today we are with chapter number 4, which is about تمثل الشياطين وتحضير الأرواح والجن وعلم الغيب الجن والأطواق الطائرة. The author here tried his best to inform us or to elaborate or to deliver a picture as close to the subject as possible. So there are 4 things in this chapter. One, تمثل الشياطين. تمثل الشياطين means how the devils will form or will take the form of other creation or animals, humans or animals. And then he talked about the subject of تحضير الأرواح, or bringing the spirit, talking to spirit. This is a very famous thing here in the United States. There are sessions that they speak to the spirits and they cross to the other world. Even there was a show on the TV at some point. I don't know if you remember or not. There was a show in the TV that people will come and the audience there in the studio, and this man will say that in this row there is Jesse, whatever, like that. And then, he says, your grandmother, and he'll start telling them things that, you know what I'm talking about, right? So that's called تحضير الأرواح. In our cultures, it's a little bit more primitive than that. It's not like, suspense and all these kind of things. No, they just sit and they'll say the soul of somebody came, and a person will start, he's the medium, start talking on the tongue of the person and all that. So we'll talk about this in a minute, and we'll see what is the reality of it and how where the jinn or the shaitan fit in this. And jinn wa ilm al-ghaib. Ilm al-ghaib. We will talk about what is ghaib in this chapter. What is the meaning of the word ghaib versus shahada. Shahada means things that you see and experience. Ghaib means hidden. Sometimes people only associate the word ghaib with future. Okay? في غيب كلي وفي غيب جزئي وفي غيب مشروط. يعني غيب كلي means entirely nobody knows, nobody. وفي غيب جزئي يعني it is partial. And there is غيب, or the unseen, which is conditional. What is غيب for you, not necessarily غيب for me. What you do in your house is ghaib for everybody who's outside. That's not known, right? Whatever happens in the houses around is not known. Whatever happening in the classroom upstairs is not ghaib for those who are upstairs, right? But it's ghaib for us right now. Also, there are people who are hearing me, but they're not seeing what I do. So you hear somebody in the radio, but you don't see their facial features and stuff. So it's ghaib. So when you say that Allah knows the ghaib, of course Allah knows all the ghaib. Allah knows everything. But there is ghaib future. There is ghaib that things happening now, but we as humans don't have access to it. So whatever happening in the heavens, right? So jinn, you don't see them around you, but they exist, right? So they're ghaib. Ghaib means hidden, unseen, but ghaib not necessarily means future. Okay? So ghaib, we'll talk about that. And then he said al-jinn wal-atwaq al-ta'ira means those UFOs. UFOs keeps appearing here and there. People say, we're not talking about that aspect. We're talking about the concept. Can be something like that. Can there be something like that? Like we consider they are aliens from another planet? As far as the concept concerned, I don't see why not. Are there might be other planets or other universes that with other creation? Oh yeah, why not? We're not the only. Why? Why do we have to be the only people in the universe? And I'm just entertaining the idea, right? I'm not saying that I know or I have scientific proof, but from Islamic perspective or logical perspective, why not? Why we have to be the only creation in the universe? Viruses are creation, right? Like, bacteria is a creation. I don't know, but there is no issue. Yeah. So, and we'll talk about that from a religious Islamic perspective as well. So, can what people see and say they are alien communication or UFOs can be jinn? Yeah, very possible. Very, very possible. If you understand what the jinn can do, then yeah, why not? So let's talk about the chapter, point by point. So the shayateen, their interaction with us is, we're talking about shaitan now, shayateen, not the jinn in general, but the shayateen, the ones who are like evil, bad. Their interaction with us is through one main channel, which is whispering. So they give you an idea. You don't see them. You don't hear a sound. You do not hear a sound, yeah, go ahead and do this. You're not going to hear that. Okay? But you hear it through the waswasa. And the waswasa, Allahu A'lam how they access your ruh. They access your spirit. Where is your ruh? We don't know. يسألونك عن الروح قل الروح من أمر ربي. This soul is from the order of Allah. We don't know what is ruh, but it exists, doesn't it? Because once the ruh leaves, this body is nothing. Correct? This body will go back to earth. منها خلقناكم وفيها نعيدكم ومنها نخرجكم تارة أخرى. A few minutes after death, when the ruh departs, the heart will stop, then the brain, then the eyes, then the skin, then the bone, then it's gone. So basically the ruh. And when the shaitan accesses, he accesses the ruh. So they whisper to you. So in front of them, you are two components. They see you in two components. I'll give you a glimpse. You know how the ultrasound works? Ultrasound. So if somebody walking and a pregnant woman, can they see what is inside of her womb? They don't. But they put like a machine that gives some sound, like some ultrasound. Ultrasound means sound that you cannot pick with the. It's a sound, but the sound translates to something visual. You see? So when the sound hits an object, it comes back again with a picture. I want you to think about it in a little bit. It's called what? Ultrasound, not X-ray or ultraviolet. See, this is a sound that beyond the human capacity. But you see how the sound and the eye, they come together? Sawt or surah. So this is a sound. So shaitan, when he looks at us, or the jinn look at us, they don't only see the body. They see the other aspect of you as well, which is the spiritual aspect. It's like the aura, we call the aura, or the spiritual being. They see that as well. When in the army they see the infrared, they have glasses, or the heat, they call it the heat. They are not seeing you, but they are seeing that heat moving around. So you are making a change in the environment. They are not seeing your body, but they go by the heat. Okay? How a mosquito comes and bites you. How a mosquito comes and just exactly comes to boom, very precision, like within a millimeter. Never misses. Does a mosquito miss? Why? And when a mosquito comes and exactly every single time since Allah created mosquitoes, there is no mosquito will come and does where there is no blood, one time it misses, or a mosquito drunk mosquito مثلا came and did on your nail or something like that. it hits, it knows. Why? Because there is a certain heat signal on the vein that it needs, and it doesn't go to the artery, it goes to, it knows exactly. Allah Azza wa Jalla made it like that. So it comes on that, and a snake goes with the sound or with the heat or whatever, and hits exactly where it wants to bite, and so on and so on and so on. We can go on and on and on in that. I'm just trying to tell you how you are looked at. Okay? How you are looked at. So the shaitan targets that. So they waswas. So they make waswasa to us. And this waswasa, not necessarily he comes and put his mouth in your ear. Yeah. You know that they made research on those who are deaf. Those who are deaf means the ear function is not working. The bones of their skull absorbs the sound, and there is sometimes they can hear through that. So not necessarily. So sometimes if you block the ears and everything, there is some sound that comes. Also your eyesight. Sometimes when you close your eye, you still see the light. If the light turns on and off, well, how do you see that? You see? How do you see it? Your eye is even closed. So you enter a dark room and your eye is closed, but when somebody turns the light on, you feel it. And that feeling translates to a picture in your head, even though your eye is not open. How do you see in a dream though? If your eyes are closed, how you are looking? And sometimes you are looking at yourself. So what is the sense that you are seeing with or hearing with? I'm asking you questions that open up for you the way to think. So when you are sleeping, your eyes closed, but you are seeing, and you are hearing. Okay? So who's seeing and who's hearing? You or somebody else? It is you. It is that part of you that only will be awakened when the bodily part is asleep. Alright? When the body is asleep. Same thing, when you are not worshipping Allah and you are distant from Allah, that is when the shaitan can access you. Right? غفلة. ومن يعرض ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن نقيض له شيطانا فهو له قرين. See, Allah said, whoever goes away from the dhikr of Allah, we are going to assign a shaitan, become attached to him. So this is the way that the shaitan. But can the shaitan come to us in a way that we can experience? Like we see with our eyes and hear with our ear and touch with our hand? Yes. But here is a catch. There is a catch. Now, if shaitan becomes in a picture of a human being, how would you know that he's a human or a jinn? He sounds like human, he feels like human, he talks like human, can touch like human, interact like human. How would you know? Of course your husband is a human, okay? Your husband is a human being. But if a shaitan takes the form of a human being, and normally it would be someone that you did not see before. Okay? Because someone you saw before, that means you know them. But it has to be someone that interacting once. Because how would you verify? That's the catch. That's what I'm trying, this is the catch. That's why Allah Azza wa Jal answered the kuffar, the mushrikeen, when they said, why an angel does not come to us? Why they have to send a human being? Why God has to send a human being like you to Rasulullah? لولا أنزل عليه ملك. We want to see an angel. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَلَوْ جَعَلْنَاهُ مَلَكًا لَجَعَلْنَاهُ رَجُلًا وَلَلَبَسْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ مَا يَلْبِسُونَ. طيب, how are you going to see an angel? You as a human being cannot process an angel in his original format. Like you cannot hear the ultrasound. There's no way. If you hear the ultrasound, if you are made to hear the ultrasound, your eardrum will rupture. It's gone, you know. If you can see with the ultraviolet, that means this is not the eyesight. This eye here cannot see the ultraviolet or the X-ray. Or imagine they say you have an X-ray vision. No, you're walking around and seeing the skeletons of people. And you know, like you're seeing behind the wall and everything. We cannot be humans then. We cannot be humans, you know. Humans is based on takreem, on respect, on privacy, on, you know, relationships and things to be hidden from each other. We are supposed to be like that. If Allah gives you some of these powers, we're done as a race. I'm just telling you, we're done as a race. We are living in reality here in this world, like that, like this. If anything changes in us, then we cannot live here. So you cannot see the jinn on this original format that Allah created them. Because if you can see, you're going to see them now. Right? But if you are going to see them, they have to get into a form that you can process. Even those who use the jinn and bad things, and all that, they see the jinn, they talk to the jinn. But they have to do, forget about how they get the jinn, how they get to see the jinn. But the minute that they see the jinn cannot show himself the way he is. Because the way he is, the guy cannot see. So he has to cross to another thing in between, you know. He can come in a shape. And that shape can be scary or can be good. It doesn't matter. But they cannot be in their original shape. Otherwise we will be looking at them right now. Angels, same thing. You cannot see the angel in their original way. That's why Rasulullah saw Sayyidina Jibreel only twice in his original things. And Allah Azza wa Jal had to prepare him beyond his human capacity. And when the Rasulullah described to us, he described something that we also cannot process. He said, رَأَيْتُ جِبْرِيلَ بَيْنَ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ, between the east and the west, وَلَهُ 600 جَنَاحٍ. He has 600 wings. So how did he count? You tell me. How you count? 1, 2, 3, like that? No. Once you are able to see it that way, you are able to process things in a different way too. Okay? So once you are able to see in that level, then the number and the image and the shape and the size and is different. Okay? It is different. It's like you know, when you download a book to your computer. You know, you have it on a chip or a stick, or now it's a cloud or whatever. But if you print it, it becomes 600 pages. صح? Right? But what is the size there? There is no size. There is no physical size. Is there a physical size for it? في physical size, يعني? This my phone here has 5,000 books in it. It has a library. It has 5,000 books. Each book, sometimes there are 20 volumes in that little tiny thing right here. Do you see it? And if I print all of those, this masjid will not be enough, you know, to put the stuff like in it. So the jinn can take the shape of certain things. ولكن الجن تتشكل بالأشكال القبيحة والأشكال الحسنة وتحكم عليهم الصورة. أما الملائكة لا يتشكلون إلا بالأشكال الحسنة ولا تحكم عليهم الصورة. What does that mean? Angels can get into a shape, but always has to be a good shape. يعني an angel cannot be a dog or an animal, because that's lower than their grade. Alright? So it has to be a very nice human being. And if they come in the shape of a human being, it has to be the best human being. And if an angel come in the shape of a man, it has to be the most handsome man. Right? That's how it is. And that's how Jibreel alayhi salam used to come to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in the shape of Dahya al-Kalbi. Dahya al-Kalbi is one of the companions. He was known to be very handsome. Very handsome companion. So he come to him in that shape. If he comes to him. And the hadith we know, hadith of Umar ibn al-Khattab, that a man who's very dark hair, very light, fair skin, very white clothes. It has to be the best of shapes. When an angel comes in the shape of a person, has to be without defect, like in the perfect shape. وَلَا تَحْكُمْ عَلَيْهِمْ الصُّورَةِ يعني that shape will not control them. Means they are not under the rules of the shape. Yani he can switch back at will. Whenever he wants. Okay? And he looks like a human being, but will not eat. You know the hadith, the ayah of Sayyidina Ibrahim? When the angels came to him, they came what? Hadith of Dayf Ibrahim al-Mukramin. They came like men. And they came in a very handsome shape. That's why Qawm Lut, when he went, they were coming and wanted to do the sin with them. Young men. Right? So they were very beautiful, very, very handsome. And when he put food in front of them, that is the difference between angels and shaitan. So he looks like human, but will not do everything like human. And will not eat. Because he's not human, he's still an angel. So angel can form in different forms. 1, has to be the best of the shape. 2, شكل حسن يعني صورة حسنة. 3, they are not ruled by the shape that they are in. They do not take the rules of that shape. If they shape in a beautiful bird, it doesn't mean that you can take that bird and no, you cannot. The shaitan, they can form, but they can form in bad things and good things. They can come in the form of a snake, can form of a bad person, an ugly picture, right? Scary. And they will be ruled by the picture or form. So if he forms in a snake, and it happened that I am a snake handler and I hold the snake very fast, he cannot change back to the jinn again. He's a snake now. Okay? He cannot have any power of the jinn. Now you know why the jinn do not appear to you? Because they will be ruled by the form that they are in. If they come in the shape of a horse and I put a saddle on it and I ride it, it is a horse. It is a horse. He cannot turn back on me. And unless I take the saddle off. As long as the saddle on him, he cannot go back. You see the jinn, they have the power. But once they come in a form, they are so scared of that. That's why it has to be very quick. Like you said, I saw something with the side of my eye. Or something passed in front of me. That's it. But they cannot come in front of you. Because sometimes we have very fast reflexes too. And if someone appear in front of you, you hit them with something, you kill them, he dies. Khalas. If he's touched by anything, as a human being, he is like a human being. And if he's injured, he cannot go back become a jinn. He will stay as an injured human being until he heals. Alright? Somebody holds like that. So, jinn can form for you to process, to see a physical shape. But the form can be good or bad, ugly or handsome, whatever. And they will be ruled by the form that they are in. So that's why they're very careful not to do that. But they will appear. Is there something in between? Yes. Like you can see them without being a physical shape. You can see them in your dream. Sometimes you can see them in your dream. So sometimes a person who's so close to Allah Azza wa Jal, reading tahajjud, tasbih, dhikr, and there are certain adhkar and things like that. And when a person, seen a dream, somebody comes in a dream and talk to them, and they know that this person is not someone that they know. So there is a message coming. So a jinn can come and talk to a person in their dream. Is there another way? Yeah. There is a form. Some people deny it, some people know it. But I know for sure it exists. So take that and don't ask me extra questions, okay? I'm 100% sure it does exist, okay? Don't ask me how. I know. Just, I'm telling you, it does exist. Alright. If something stolen from them, or something hidden, or somebody did something to them, or something like that, there is something that the Arabs call it Mendel. Mendel. Mendel هذا, there are certain people, they do it, not anybody. And it is done in good, not in bad. So if some people try to use it in bad, it's not going to work. Okay? And this is communicating with the jinn. And it has to be a child who is not have not reached puberty. That's innocence, right? Like there's no kitab, يعني. They are not mukallaf. They are not accounted for whatever they do. So that means still they are not, whatever they do, there is no taklif. يعني. And then the man comes, and the people who asking for whatever, they sit in the room, and this man start reading Quran and Ayatul Kursi and all of that to protect, everybody, so the bad shaitan does not come here, right? So it does certain things, and it has to be done at night. And then they bring like a cup or something bigger, yani something like this, but not huge, and small. And then they fill it with certain things. So they put like water, and then above the water they will put some ink, blue or black ink, and then above that they will put olive oil, pure olive oil. So 3 layers. And then we'll start doing some stuff. Some stuff, okay? And then they tell the kid, keep looking at that thing. Right? When you see something, let us know. So everybody, even the man himself, does not see. Okay? Only the kid will see. Only someone underage puberty will see. And has to be Muslim too. Right? So, then the kid will see. Now, some people would be concerned something might happen to the kid, or the kid might see something that scares them. Absolutely not. They actually will be very happy because they're watching a movie. So the kid actually is looking at a TV screen, basically. And they will come in very, 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 very beautiful, handsome shape. Older people, white beards, white clothes, stuff like that. So tell the kid, what do you see? He'll say, I see someone coming toward me, like standing in front of me. Then everybody stands up and says, Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. He says salam, And then, he said, now you can clean up. Tell him. So the guy tells the kid, tell them to clean up. Tell the guy in front of you to clean up. Who's that? He's the janitor of the kings of the jinn who are coming. And he said, clean up and all of that and make the walima. And I know these things is very strange for you, right? Make the walima. Slaughter 1 sheep and make the walima. The kid is talking to the jinn. And then the man is telling the kid what to say. And the kid is telling him what they're saying back. You understand now what's happening? So the kid is watching like this. And he says, oh yeah, I see like a big uncle, big grandfather coming, He tell him, okay, what does he say? He says, Salaam alaikum. So everybody says, Wa alaikum salam. So he hears. So the kid does not have to say, they are telling you. Right? He already hears whatever happening. But the kid is delivering the instruction, doing the instruction. Yeah. So, said, okay. Then they tell him to clean up and prepare the area. So he said, yeah, he's cleaning up. And he did the water and clean up the area and put the chairs. I said, okay. Now tell him to go and prepare the walima. The kids said, go prepare the walima. Go prepare the walima. They go prepare the walima. Said, yeah, he slaughtered the sheep and he cooked it. All this happened in a few minutes. Yeah. It's not like quick, it doesn't take hours or anything like that. He said, okay, tell me what is happening now. He said, I saw people, like 7 people sitting on the chair. You know, for each day there is one king, you know, of the jinn. Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. So muluk al-ayyam. Yeah. So okay. So address them and say Assalamu alaikum. So I said Alaikum Salam. Said, so the king of today, please stand up. So what is today? Wednesday. So the Wednesday will come forward. Alright? He said, okay, now a big one is standing in front of me and he's smiling. He said, okay, tell him what we want now. Right? So if there is a person who stole something, like let's say somebody stole my phone, right? Then he will tell him, my phone was stolen and I want to know who. Right? So he goes and call the king of all the qareens. Qareen, you know, each one of us has what? Qareen. So he will go and call all the king of all the qareen. He will come and stand in front of him. So the kid will say, oh, he's another one now standing in front of him. And he tell him who did? He told him such and such person. And then the other guy said, show me. Then they would play back the video of the theft. Yes. So I'll tell him, yeah, I can see such and such person. He's entering the room and he's looking around. Now he grabbed the phone and he left from that door, like that. Okay, what if they're looking for something else? They said, you know, I lost something. I put something in somewhere and I forgot where it is. Right? So they will call the jinn that's responsible about the things hidden under the ground. And they will say it is 5 meters under that wall. There is a treasure, or there is something like this, or there is something like that. They use this in Egypt big time to get all the pharaohs' treasures and all of that. And people like, you know, they have a small house or something like that, and they are millionaires, but they don't want to leave the old house because they have like ways under. Yeah. So this is one thing. I gave you just a small picture of things that happens, but there are communication that happens like that. So you can see, but you don't see. You see, but you don't see, you know. And again, there is amana on those who do those things. Sometimes, you know, the person, sometimes it will, we cannot go to the police with that. And they say, you know, you can't. It's just making you comfortable. It's just showing you. The problem with it is, like, you're going to go accuse somebody that we don't know that person is doing. He was doing magic, or he was doing the real thing. He was doing this, or he was doing that, you know. Yeah, you cannot use it in wrong, but someone might hypnotize you and make you see the things that he wants you to see. Well, somebody can come with a scientific thing too. Right? So, this, you know, thing happens. And I can relate one story. My father told me one time. And he said when he was young, when he was like 11, 12 years old, and he was sitting in the room, and they brought this guy in the next room. He was sitting in one of his relatives' houses. And at night, he said, I started hearing sounds in the other room. That's my father saying it. He started hearing sounds in the other room. Then he know who's there, right? He know the people. They are his family, relatives. And they have that guy and that kid, right? And then he said, I start hearing him giving him the orders, like I just told you, right? And then he says that the man actually brought a jinn out. There is a jinn that he started hearing the voice of. And he said, I heard with my own ear a voice that was not there. Like he knows that there are 4 people there, but there is a 5th voice now. And he said, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. First thing he asked, right? His uncle, he told him, who's the kid in the next room? Yeah, he said, my mother said, I heard with my own ear, Allah is my witness. Who's the kid in the next room? He told him, this is Mustafa, like my nephew. He said, tell him to leave the house. I will not do anything, I will not talk until he leaves the house. He said, I heard, and then his uncle came and said, I'm sorry to leave. Why? Because my father knew what they were doing. He said I was 12. Once they started doing, I started reciting Quran. Reading Ayatul Kursi and this and that. So he said, no, it's not going to work. When this kid is sitting there and reading Quran, we're doing good and stuff, but I cannot function like that. You understand the idea? So, yeah. Subhanallah, some people, they use the jinn. And to use the jinn, as Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَأَنَّهُ كَانَ رِجَالٌ مِنَ الْإِنسِ يَعُوذُونَ بِرِجَالٍ مِنَ الْجِنِّ فَزَادُوهُمْ رَاقًا. They were humans seeking the help or protection of the jinn, and the jinn increased the problem. Sihr al-Sufli, or the black magic, or the things وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ that people do, they have to make sacrifices for the jinn. So tell them bring a black chicken or a goat that did not have any pregnancies or whatever, and slaughter it. They slaughter it in the name of the shayateen, and then they smear with the blood the area. They do things like that, right? So the shaitan now guaranteed that this person committed shirk. So this person now sold their relationship with Allah. So he will serve them. And every time that they want something, he will ask them for something in return. One of the repented magicians, black magic people, came in a TV show one time, a real one. Yeah. He repented. And he said that to start practicing black magic, the Sheikh of the black magic, there is ijaza also in this. You know, there is a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know the boy and the king? You know the story of the boy and the king? You know when the boy that the magician of the king, before he dies, he told the king, I need the boy. You know, same thing. He has to have an apprentice, to give him all the secrets and everything, but he has to test him first and do many things to tell him. Alright, so that magician said that to take the ahd, or to take the covenant from the bigger one, you have to go like 40 days in a cave on a mountain, be alone on your own, and only drink water, eat like olive, and eat sha'ir and barley bread and things like that. And you cannot eat anything that has soul in it, like eggs or, like vegan. The vegan, you have to go like that, but even worse than vegan, even a little bit more. Eat very, very little. And of course, when a person eats very little, you start seeing things. When you become hungry, you hallucinate, right? But then, they said you start seeing things. And then he says that Jinn will come, like in a person shape, and they will start taking covenant from him. And will tell him, okay, you want to know the ghaib, you want to see things? Yes. He said, okay, you have to accept. And he said that he started offering. First, they have to show you something. Like look at the sky, and they start writing things like in front of you from your past or things like that nobody knows. So now you know whom you're talking to, right? Now you know that this is real. Okay, so what you want? No, I want someone of you to give me khidmah. The man is saying, I want some of you, while you are sitting here, I want the khidmah. I want some of your jinn to be my khadim. Now he's talking to the leader of the jinn. So I tell him, I want you to assign me some khadim, like you're going to the agency. He said, I want a maid, or I want a servant, or I want a chef, or I want a chauffeur. So he said, I want a team to be doing my stuff. He said, okay, there is a price for that. Okay, what's the price? Number 1, you are going to stop praying for 40 days. Not now. He's not telling him, are you ready? He said, you accept? Yes, I accept. You're going to break the fast in Ramadan. You're not going to fast Ramadan. You accept? Yes, I accept. And he will keep telling him like 10 things. Ma'asiyah, all of them like disobedience of Allah Azza wa Jalla. You're going to do this. And things I cannot say in the, now, but you can imagine, right? You're going to do this. Yes. So he gave him like 10 major sins or 10 major things. He said, you sure? You give the covenant? That's what they say, they sold their soul to the shaitan, right? That's the interpretation of that. So he agrees. So now he said, okay, covenant is done. But no coming back from this. You do these things, whenever you are asked, we will do what you want. You fail once, you're done. You understand? So you agreed to the 10 things. Whichever one of them comes at you, you should do it. Alright? So, for example, he goes, and the next day he started doing sihr for somebody. Somebody come and tell him, you know what, I want to make that person become sick, or that person do this or that, or you make them crazy or whatever. He said, okay. So he goes and called the team. Yes? He called the team. Or he called the guy who came and gave him the covenant, the leader, you know. Tell him, okay, now I want this and that. And said, okay, now it's not Ramadan. And you, how fast do you want that thing? Oh, I want that thing to happen tomorrow. Alright? So he will give him one of the 10 things that can be done now. You know, the disobedience. He said, you do that now, and you get your mas'ala. So, لك عندنا حاجة ولنا عندك طلب. You know, you want something from us, we want something from you. So what is going to be? And he tells him this. Go and do this thing. So he goes and they do that thing. So some of them, he said, you know, bring the najasa. You know, najasa? And write this ayah of Quran with it. With the najasa. He writes the ayah of the Quran, then the things are done. Okay? That's why you find in the sihr, sometimes, the people do it with the najasa, or the blood, you know, women blood. They do that with that as well, and then they hurt people with it. So that, this is the black thing, the bad stuff, black magic. I don't know why they call it black magic. It's magic, you know. There is no white magic, black magic. Racism goes in everywhere, you know. But anyways, it's dark, yeah. What I call it is bad magic. طبعا there is another type which is سحر التخيل. يعني it's not happening, but it makes you think it is happening. You know? So I make this cup move, but it's not actually moving. Okay? There is another thing which is, it will move, but with a trick. There's a magnet or something under. Right? And I'm having something under my feet here. I move my feet, the cup moves forward. I move my feet back, the cup moves back. And you're always, oh, the Sheikh is magician. You know? And most of those tricks that you see is from that type. Like, you know, trick. Fast. Like, you know, the thing flies out of the sleeve and you think, oh, pigeon came. That's why the fire has to be there, you know? Okay? I want the magician to make like this, and then I want the pigeon to come out. I want him to show me. I want him to put his palms like this, and then I want to see pigeon. He can't do it, can he? He has to make some move. And that is the move, tricks your eye. You get the idea, right? So they make a fire. Now you're looking at the fire, oh, this is a bird. You know, so there is something in between you looking at the fire and you looking at the bird. Something happened in 1 second, but you didn't see it because your mind was focused on the fire, and it has to be like fire kind of thing happening in front of you, right? No, I want to give you a candle. This is a candle fire, and please bring a pigeon out of it. They have to be the ones who are making the command. Okay? They have to be the ones who are making the command. I want one to come. You do this. You hold this. And you are focusing, right? Like, I'm going to show now. I'm going to do this. And he is actually hypnotizing you. He's giving you orders. You are following the orders to the T. And inside of your head, something amazing is going to happen. Something amazing is going to happen. Something amazing is going to happen. Or, oh, I'm going to show the trick. I'm going to show the trick. But the trick happens other than what you think. That is the magic that commonly used. Tricks. There is nothing abnormal. It is all normal, but it's done quickly or in a hidden way. Okay? You're not focusing. That's one. The other one is using some physics and some chemistry. Some chemistry and physics. That's why some of them, some scholars talked about chemistry as haram, like they put potions and then an explosion comes. Because they didn't know. Why? Like if you put this with that, an explosion comes. Like there is some material, like this foam that keeps growing. Like you put a dot here and it keeps growing to become like an elephant, like a huge thing. So that in all time, if somebody sees that, said, oh, where did this come from, Like I just put a dot and something huge like this came out. Oh, this is magic. But this is just a chemical reaction. Right? It's a chemical reaction. So that's another thing. Or as I told you, something I'm moving, like, I'm moving my hand like this and the cup will go like this. I'm moving my hand like this and the cup will go like this. But there is some connection between the hand and the cup that you do not see. Alright? But the bad magic is the magic that actually uses the jinn. Uses what? The jinn. And some of the salihin, actually a scholar, he said that I saw by my own eyes that he talked to, a sheikh talked to the jinn and he did not see. Like he was talking to them and he's seeing them, but nobody around him was seeing. And he told them that, what do you want to eat? He said, we want to eat rice. So he cooked for them rice and all that, and he said, I saw the food going up and down. The food is going up and down. So you can see these things. So subhanallah, as I said, once a person establishes that connection, they can know things, they can see things, they can know things, which is ghaib for us. And people would be very surprised. Yani what I ate last night in dinner, nobody of you know. But I had dinner with my family. So it's not ghaib for them. So if you want to know what Sheikh Mamdouh ate for dinner yesterday, it's easy for the jinn to know. It's easy. There was jinn present at that time, seeing what I'm eating in dinner. Right? So your jinn communicate with that jinn and he knows what I'm eating. And they tell you, and you tell me, oh, you ate lasagna. Oh, I just told you. You ate lasagna last night. Ate lasagna last night? How did you know? Simple, as I told you. Like if one of my kids tells you that that's what we ate last night, would it be ghaib anymore? Do I know that my kid told you? No. So you met my child at school or whatever, and I don't know that. Okay? So you were at the school, Darul Arqam, and you saw one of my kids eating, oh, this is nice, oh, this is lasagna from last night, we ate. Khalas, you got the piece of information. You come to the class here, say, Sheikh, how was the lasagna last night? They said, what? How did you know? I said, I have my secrets. And my daughter even forgot completely that you talked to her. So now you're leaving me in the dark now, right? Oh, must have superpower. You get the point, right? Like if somebody having a surveillance camera, spying on somebody, isn't that what they do? So it can be done that way, or can be done through, as I said, the jinn. The jinn communicate with the jinn and then they say. So sometimes a person would talk to the qareen of that person and tell him what happened, and he tells him, this person is this person is that. Everything has limitations, so it's not like unlimited. Oh, that person has a problem, has a disease or has a sickness. Can we heal it? No. Cannot heal it. So it's kind of sometimes just knowing the information. So what are you going to do with the information? Not necessarily you are going to be able to do something. Actually, sometimes it's worse to know. It's bad to know certain things. It's good that you don't know. What is that person doing? Now you know what they're doing. Now you will have a problem because you cannot do anything about it. Okay, what these guys doing there? Oh, they are drinking and they are doing bad things. What are you going to do with that information now? So sometimes it's good for things to be left alone. So not necessarily knowing the jinn or the jinn talking to you is a good thing. That's what all of this lecture is about, that part. All this series, if you notice, I'm trying to destroy all the myths among things. Yeah, people can communicate with jinn, yes. They can use them to hurt people, absolutely. Jinn can come and so, yeah, but what we do with that? Do we need that? Do you need it? No. No. It actually can hurt you if you don't know what you're doing. So, it's not like a privilege. Sometimes even the people who do that cannot help their own selves. They're making things for people to be good with each other, but they have trouble with their family. And they do things for people to be happy, but why they are not happy? Or will tell you, I'm going to write something for you, so the rizq will come to you from everywhere. How about you? It's like this guy who come and make the workshop. He said how to be a millionaire. All right? So imagine if he teaches this to everybody. At least he figured out how he became a millionaire. He figured that one out. We're going to make him a millionaire first, right, in the process. So it's not about like how I'll teach you how to become a millionaire. First, I will use you to become a millionaire, and in the process, I'll tell you how to become one. It's just like that. So how did you become a millionaire? I want to ask that person first. How did you become a millionaire? You have to attend the workshop before I tell you. You're going to pay. All right? So people pay, but with everybody, like he teaches, become a millionaire, actually he will become poor. If every person that he teaches the workshop become a millionaire, means, khalas, economy will go down, Everybody a millionaire. So it's always like that, thinking like that. Yeah, we will stop inshallah for the Q&A. Before that, Sheikh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah mentioned many people of those who used to do this magic and they talk to the jinn and they do bad things to impress people and control them. And some of them, how do we know all these details? Many of those who used to do it in a bad way repented to Allah Azza wa Jal and they uncover. Otherwise it would stay hidden, like as a secret knowledge. If you read in that you'll hear some funny stories and some things like that how people will go and find even the plants, like which one is poisonous, which one is not, which one is good, which one is not, and what is this for, and what is that for. The jinn tells them, jinn tells them that for that. And all of this from makr of the shaitan. I told you about the ghaib, and they come in the shape of good and bad. What is the ruling in regards to using jinn? Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam used the jinn. Allah Azza wa Jal made him control the jinn. If one jinn wants to help a human being, no problem. But if a person controls the jinn and obligates the jinn, that's not for you. Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam was the one. Even Rasulullah did not want to do anything with the jinn. Do not, because this becomes crossing to transgressing the limit. So you cannot just go and obligate the jinn to do something, because it will hurt that person. It's like you are bullying someone to do something for you. It's not acceptable, but it will cause a problem, and that kid can, or that person who's being bullied can revenge, or can become bad, or his family come and revenge from you. So things can happen like that way. And if somebody uses it in disobedience of Allah, or to hurt someone innocent, or to cause problems to someone, that's haram, and this is shirk wal-'iyadhu billah. And we'll stop in a minute inshallah. The scholars differed about using them for good things, like good things, like to know that somebody was transgressed, or somebody will do things like that, or reconcile between people, or showing certain things. That's fine. Or like someone who has a jinn that hurting them, and there is a good jinn who can defend or who can attack that bad one. It's like that somebody is doing something wrong, but you cannot fix it yourself. You go get someone and say, I want you to help me doing this, like a private eye. Or you're hiring someone muscle, like go hit someone who's bullying everybody. If you use that, then the scholars differ in it. Like, is it halal? It's not halal. It's allowed. It's not allowed. Like sometimes you write certain things and do that for the mahabba of people. Right? It says, okay, do certain things and certain words and stuff like that. You say to that person, drink this water, and then they become good. They like each other. They don't hate each other anymore. So with this allowed or not allowed, there are issues in that, and it's a slippery slope, because people will not use it properly all the time. So if you have questions, inshallah, can go ahead.
Just know when you said about that, but isn't it in the end the fear you become so dependent?
Yes.
You everything you ask now, you bypass Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because if this person make things happen for you and the results are always good.
Sahih. That's why in the very beginning we said that when Harut or Marut, they were teaching the people, after Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam, shayateen started teaching the people these powers that Sayyidina Sulaiman had over them. They could not do it in any wrong way while Sayyidina Sulaiman was alive. When Sayyidina Sulaiman died, the shayateen started teaching people sihr. Allah said in the Quran, وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانُ وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَى الْمَلَكَيْنِ. There are two angels who came down, their name is Harut and Marut. They started teaching people counter sihr. Right? So if this sihr happens, this is how it is. How did these guys make these two separate, this husband and wife separate? They did this. Reverse it, and you're good. Okay? But they told him, be careful, we are fitna. This is what you just said, don't be dependent on this. Everything happened with the Mashiach of Allah. We're teaching you to overcome the evil. But now they taught them the process of the evil as well. You understand? So they told them, okay, this is how this disease happens. 1, 2, 3. Reverse the process, the disease is gone. But they also learned how the disease comes. Okay? So are they going to heal people, or are they going to make someone sick like the other ones? They ended up making people sick as well. Okay? So yeah. Sometimes knowledge is power, but power that destroys you. So that you're right. You are absolutely right. That's why it is very thorny forest. People get in, mostly they will get lost. It's not like easy. That's why sometimes you know things and you want to use it for yourself, but you don't. And that's the power. I don't want to do that. I don't want to bypass things like this, like you just said. But it is like you are not doing anything without Allah's qadr. And it's a fitna. إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ فِتْنَةٌ فَلَا تَكْفُرْ. Means it can take you to kufr. Knowing how to compound the medicine, it can make you heal somebody or kill somebody. Yes? So if I know the ingredients of the medicine, I can increase it a little bit, I kill somebody. I can decrease a little bit, I can heal somebody. So knowing the compound is not always good. Knowing how to make a medicine is not always good, because you can poison someone with having the dose different, or play a little bit with it. It can cause somebody die slowly. Alright? So this is also the same thing. So be careful with that. So this kind of knowledge is not something nice. It needs somebody with a very, very, very strong iman. Very strong iman. Like, they control themselves. They know when to stop. Otherwise, it is like an ocean, And it is very attractive. Especially when you do something and start working. You know what I mean? Like if you do certain things, you make this dua and you write this in that day, in that night, and then you do it and you find exactly it's happening exactly as prescribed. Then you say, whoa, I can do this, really? Okay. Now imagine that this knowledge is in the hand of someone, not the right person. Okay, that's why I tell you, always do the adhkar, right? Always keep your protection, keep your guard up all the time. Salah on time, always have wudu, even if you are not able to pray, stay on the wudu. Not necessarily you are making wudu for salah, but wudu for protection. You know, wudu is a protection. Shayateen do not like a person who having wudu. You know, that's why we do wudu, as I explained to you last time, you know. Just wudu before you sleep. It's a sunnah to do wudu before you sleep. It did not say that you are going to pray. You just do wudu before you sleep. So I'm doing wudu to sleep, to break my wudu. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like sleeping would break your wudu. Yet I make wudu, absolutely. To enter the state of sleeping with wudu is what is needed. Yani when you are crossing from being awake to being asleep, you are in a state of, but the sleep itself breaks the wudu. But when you enter the sleep, you were in a state of, that crossing itself, wudu was needed. You understand? So it's not like what happens after. Because sometimes they do, what's the point? Sleeping breaks the wudu, so why I make wudu before sleeping? Because you don't get it. You don't get it. It's like, you know, when you enter this door, you should enter in that state. I don't care what happens after you enter the door. But when you enter that door, you should do that. You should slide the card. You know the card? If you slide the card, you enter the door. Now what are you going to do with the card? Nothing. The card is with you, nothing. Card is not effective anymore. Card was effective when you enter. You know the gate? So now I have the gate card of Masjid Salam. So what is the value of it? Value only when I do what? Enter. So the sleep before the wudu before you sleep is the card. You entered the state of sleep when you are wudu. So shaitan cannot touch you because you enter from a different gate. Yes.
So is it true that like all of us have a qarin?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So,
And a bad one too.
Yeah, so they can sell our secret to another jinn.
Unless you are strong in your iman, they cannot.
So that's the only way we can avoid.
Yes. But they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can. Unless, as I said, like the other person comes and try to access your qarin, right? Your qarin said, I can tell you, because this person always praying, this person always doing dhikr, this person, I don't even see them. That's why Rasulullah ﷺ said, Satru ma bayna a'yun al-jinni bismillahir rahmanir rahim. When you say bismillah ar-rahman ar-rahim, you're making qarin and everybody blind. They cannot see you. That's why when you enter, they only see you at the times you are not connected with Allah Azza wa Jalla.
So they are normally not Muslim.
Yeah, qarin normally not Muslim or deviant, not practicing. But the more you do good, it forces them to be good. That's why Rasulullah ﷺ said, Allah Azza wa Jalla made me overpower him and he became Muslim. So qarin is like someone who is not good. That is the one who whispers, and that's the one who does. That's why when you say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you make Bismillah, then you become more connected with the angels, not with the shayateen. Angels are more connected with you. So the qarin does not have any powers, basically. As Rasulullah ﷺ said, I told you the hadith last time, didn't I? Qarin min al-jinn wa qarin min al-malaika. Each one of us has qarin from jinn and qarin from the angels. Angels, there is no good or bad, always good. But the qarin can be good or bad, or can be bad and become good, or bad and become worse, or good and become bad. It depends, like us. But if your qarin of the angels are stronger by the way you do things, the other one becomes less and less, weaker. Yeah.
You said how the jinn can also can shape of a person as well.
Yes.
If you find an evil person with evil act to a jinn.
Say it again.
If a person doing an evil act right? And you know that from daily life or whatever. Is that a jinn?
No, a jinn will come to in a shape of a human being will not be someone that you have a long relationship with or someone that you see often. Cannot be that. Like if someone that you see on a daily basis, cannot be a jinn. Like I go to the post office and there is a bad person there, they must be jinn. This is a human being who's bad because you see them every day. So if somebody you see repeatedly, cannot be the jinn like that, So the jinn will come to you like once somebody come across. Would do a good thing or a bad thing, you don't know. Sometimes people like traveling in dark and everything and suddenly they see somebody or something like weary, something like not good. It might be. And maybe someone does a good deed and they then disappear. You don't know. You don't see them. That also is the case. But it's not someone that you see on a regular basis. Believe me, humans do more evil than jinn. Okay? So it's not like, because it's the easiest way to say if that person that evil, he must be jinn, not human. No. Actually, it is the opposite. Shayateen al-ins, worse than Shayateen al-jinn. Shaitan al-jinn is hidden. He's so scared. He has to whisper to you while they're hidden. But shaitan of human come in your face. And he come in good shape too. They come in very good shape, has perfume and nice and all that. And they will take you to the most horrible of places. Who's worse now? At least shaitan al-jinn is hidden. He's scared. If he shows himself, he will grab him or kill him or something. So, not everything evil that means jinn, Jinn has lots of good people too. Very good people. And very weak. And some of them cannot do stuff. Yeah. So, it's not like, it's like us, like humans, everything. Like some people shy, some people good, some people blunt, some people evil, some people bad, some people, everything is ثقلان. Allah call them ثقلان. The two heavy. سنفرغ لكم أيها الثقلان. إنس والجن يا معشر الجن يا معشر الإنس والجن يا معشر الجن والإنس يعني Allah Azza wa Jal talk to them all the time in the Quran. Another question? Yes.
I think one of the lectures said that the jinn are working hard now towards the day of judgment.
Say it again. Jinn what?
Jinn are working hard because towards the day of judgment, because they want to get as many
You mean the shayateen? Shayateen al-jinn, يعني. Shayateen al-jinn are working harder because it's closer to the day of judgment? Yeah, it's a logical deduction, which is good. But there is no proof for that because they don't know also when is the day of judgment. Like you and me. Like knowing the day of judgment is close, what does that do to human being? How many human beings repented? Use the same way of analogy, like knowing that the day of judgment is close. But people don't know the day of judgment is going to be like April 1st in that day, we don't know like that. Or May something of the year 2022. Even when you do that, people start laughing, right? That's why this is one of the secrets of the day of judgment. When it happens, it's going to happen sudden. Well, nobody's ready, basically. لا تأتيكم إلا بغتة. Allah said. So it has to come. It doesn't mean that people are not expecting it. Don't misunderstand. Allah says it's going to come sudden. It doesn't mean with no introduction. No, every introduction says the day of judgment is coming. The day of judgment is coming. Dajjal is here. But when the Dajjal is going to be around, he will have lots of advocates saying that this is not Dajjal. You see? So it's always going to be like issue. That's why people say, Wallah, if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is here, everything will be solved. Who told you that? Who told you that? If he's here, actually, we'll have people telling him you are a liar. Abu Jahl saw the Prophet. Yeah. What did it do? His cousin, actually. His uncle, Abu Lahab, saw him. What did it do to Abu Lahab? So don't think that you're going to become a better person if... It's not like that, So, people will defend the Dajjal. People will defend the things. All the way until, Day of Judgment came. Then you say, wow, yes, you're right. That's the only time that they will believe. But before that, all those people are in denial. So, the same way of talking, jinn will work hard because they know Day of Judgment is close. But when is it? So work hard today, tomorrow, and next week, and we stop, or we keep working hard forever, or what? So it doesn't mean anything, But as I said, logically, it's good deduction, but does not really mean anything. Because the jinn is like you and me, they don't know when is the Day of Judgment. It's close, yeah, but close what? 10 years? 100? 1,000? 10,000? Allah A'lam. اللهم المستعان. طيب سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك صلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. I want you to read in chapter 4 because most of it is like more stories than concepts. So just want to finish it next time inshallah. So just read through it. This Ibn Taymiyyah is relating few stories about people who use the shayateen under the name of religion. Some of them like was kind of those peers or sheikhs that have murid going for them, and they do things like, okay, I want you to bring me the plate of halwa from Yemen, and they are like in Iraq, and the halwa comes in front of them. So everyone says, oh sheikh, and do like this and them and all that, because they did something amazing, miracle. If it's not a miracle, the jinn brought it, and for that the sheikh is doing lots of disobedience at night, so the jinn can do this for him. Yeah. So, and that's why they keep asking people, go get me a goat that has a white dot between the eyes, or get me a chicken that a white chicken does not have a dot in it, or a black chicken does not have a dot in it, and these things like that. Or give me an egg that was laid today. And they do things with it. So this is shaitan requirement. Shaitan is asking these things and laughing at us, watching us doing it and laughing at how stupid the human being becomes. How can they sell Allah wa deen wal akhirah for a little thing? He laughing at us, you see. So he comes from that one. Chicken and goat. What are you going to achieve? Yani? Get $1 million, then what? You disbelieve in Allah, ta'asi Allah, shirk. Why? Is it worth it? Subhanallah. طيب, inshallah, we'll see you next week, inshallah. جزاكم الله خير.